Nathan, and I want to share with you my top tips on being productive and getting the most out of your days. So I just got back from Colombia. Like I had a great time there, and I met some like really interesting people. And one person that I met in particular um, really got me back into like productive working and like planning out your day. She was like an entrepreneur who really like very surprising. I was really quite surprised by like some of the things that she was doing. So I'll throw a few of like her like hacks and tips in, but really like, I'll go over a lot of the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing that I'm going to introduce you to is an app called Sunsama, which is like a they describe it as like Trello and Google Calendar had a baby. So they like it integrates natively with Trello, and it also integrates with Google Calendar. But for like productivity, I really find this to be the best tool, particularly as I work from multiple Trello bases, because I have like a number of different companies and projects that I'm involved in. There's like a co-founder or working with clients and whatnot. This really works like best for me because I can pull in from multiple Trello boards at the same time. I really like their like interface as well. It's just super clean. And you have like your daily tasks. And they also have like an iOS app, which is in like beta stage. It's invite only at the moment, but the web app has been around for like over a year now. But anyway, it's a really good tool. Um, so yeah, you can pull all of your tasks directly in from like Trello, or you can just add them in here directly. I add them in directly now, and then you can like set your allotted time for how long you want to spend on it. Like you can also just go ahead and like plan out your week. Like you can plan your day and everything like that, and then also like in my calendar. This is going to be on Colombian time zone because I just got back from there. But I have it automatically syncs with Google Calendar. So in Google Calendar, these are my tasks that I have that repeat every single day on things that I want to do. You know what time to wake up at. So that should actually be like 6 a.m. Go and make tea, coffee, water, and breakfast. So I put 30 minutes to do that. And then like gym workout, like relax a little bit for 15 minutes, just get my thoughts together. Like I don't really meditate but I do really see the benefits in it. But just like clearing your mind to yeah just to get like prepared for the day, and then I actually go ahead and like plan my day in Sunsama. So I'll go ahead and do like plan day. I'll drag over like the order of the tasks that I want to do them in, and then we're like good to go. If I have any like meetings scheduled for the day, that's automatically pulled in as well, which is really nice, so I can like work around that and yeah, and really like plan everything out. So I find that and then what you do, sorry, is go into like focus mode. So I can set the allotted time for whatever the task is if I haven't done so already, and then I press start, and it will actually start like a counter. I'm in a hotel now, so I haven't got like dual monitors set up, but usually I just have this running on my MacBook screen, and I work from my like second monitor, so I can. It's just a way of really dedicating the time to the task at hand. So this is what I would is called like intentional working. I 100% know what the feeling's like. You know, I've been managing startups for so long of like you have a really busy day, um, and that feels productive because you've been so busy, but actually it really isn't at all. If I actually look at what I've accomplished in a day where I feel really busy, usually it's nothing. Like I'm all over the place. I've got staff asking me questions. I'm not like focused at all, and I'm just trying to accomplish so many different tasks at once that nothing ends up getting done. Like I dropped out of school at 15, but like a good example is like if you have like a deadline for a project at school or with a client or something, particularly like an exam where you have to like hand something in or anything like that, often it's only in like the last like as it comes towards the end of it and you have like a deadline in place and you really have to intentionally focus on each like task at hand, that's when you find like you're so productive. So if I actually work in this fashion, um you don't really need to sit like for 8 hours per day doing tasks. Like I can, if I don't work in this way, it would take me like 8 or 9 hours to get through everything because I'm not working intentionally, and I'm not working like strategically towards like each task at hand. Whereas if at the very start of the day I say this is what I want to do, this, and this, and however long it takes me to do that, that's how long I'll work for. But usually I can literally do it in like 3 or 4 hours, compared to if I didn't do that, I would sit there for a whole day and just make it take that long. Like make it take the whole work day to feel productive, which just doesn't make sense at all, particularly as I'm like an entrepreneur and I don't have to sit in an office and do this stuff. Also, like I've learned a lot recently. Before I used to be like doing 12, 14, like 16-hour days every day, like 7 days per week. And it is not a productive way of working at all. Yes, you're spending loads of time in the office, but it's actually impossible to work productively, consistently work productively doing that long. I find I get so much more done if I like review my week after the end of the week, doing like 4 hours per day, even like sometimes like 8 hours per day if I'm needed to be there. But if you like set the task for each day, if every week you say these are all the tasks I need to get done this week, split it across your days, I think you'll be pretty shocked if you haven't worked in this style before, um, of how much you can actually accomplish. Another like thing to do is like avoid micro distractions. There are a few different tips that I have for that. Number one is like your phone. Like if you're anything like me, I'm sure you just have like, I'm not even on Instagram or Facebook. My phone is just going off all day with emails and like people just messaging me on WhatsApp and just stupid things like calls, and like instead just put what's it, sleep mode, night mode. I don't know what the exact term is, but that that one there, which like stops all your notifications coming through, and just work in like it's called like Pomodoro, do not disturb mode. That's what it's called. Sorry. You can do like 45-minute sprints. This is another little hack. If a task takes longer than 45 minutes, split it up into micro tasks. If I have like a 2-hour task, I'll split it into like two or three different tasks, like maybe an hour maximum, and then like I try and work in like 45-minute intervals. I'm not the best at doing it, to be completely honest, but it is when I do manage to do it, it's a really productive way of working. So I'll turn off my phone for 45 minutes. Generally, nothing is so urgent that it cannot wait for maximum 45 minutes if I've just turned my phone off, like if I have like a partner or a client calling me, or whatever it may be. Um, Generally, it's absolutely fine to do that. So turn everything off, all like notifications and everything like that. Have 45 minutes of like just distraction-free working, focusing on the task at hand, get it done, and then just go and take a break for like 15 minutes. You don't have to take a break for like like when I say take a break, just like you can go and check through your phone, check through your emails, and do like all the little distracting tasks that really aren't productive. Like go and get yourself like a coffee, or like if you smoke, go for a cigarette, and then plan like have your next hour like ready to go ahead. And that also makes uh, it separates your task out, so you can like jump into a like flow state, as we would call it, for 45 minutes. Then you take a break, refresh, like meditate, whatever's best for you. Like test out a load of different things. What works for me might not work for you, and you may even find a better strategy than I do. um and then have like 15 minutes to yourself, and then go get straight back into it. Like start the timer in Sunsama, and you're on to the next task. And that's what I find is just such a productive way of working. Sometimes I don't do that if I'm like really into something. I'm sure people have had like the feeling before of just like really like focusing on a task, and it feels like you've been doing it for like well, you've just got so much stuff done, and you look at the time and it's been like 4 hours have gone past, but it's been really productive. If I'm in a state like that, I won't interrupt it, because that's just the most productive state for me to be in. um Another little hack is like going back to micro distractions. Like obviously, like as people, we naturally get like thirsty. Obviously, you need to eat probably every like 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever it may be. But like you should be drinking a lot of water. There's a really good book called like Brain Food, which talks about the most productive the most like nutritious ways, the most nutritious foods for like your brain and everything like that. So like you can look into doing like smoothies. Someone that I'm working with very closely actually just sent me over a number of really interesting smoothie recipes. With like spinach and bananas actually like really good for cognitive functions. Of course, like water as well is like just the most important thing. Like I try and drink 4 liters of water per day. If you're like dehydrated at all, your metabolism slows by 30%, brain functionality slows by, I don't have the exact statistic, but I drastically notice that the more water I drink, like I feel so much more productive. My brain works a lot smoother, and I come up with much better solutions. So every morning, like if you saw in my task before, I make coffee, fresh coffee, fill up like a big jug of water, and I also make like a big like tea. Of like I'm British, so I drink a lot of tea. And I just have that like to hand, so I don't need to get up and go and make it as soon as I'm like everything is just done and I'm prepared, so I can actually stay within like the flow state by literally just reaching it. It's not a big interruption for me to do that, so that's like a really good thing to do. Obviously, if you get like hungry often, like I would put like some like bananas are really good for brain functionality as well. Um, so yeah, another thing like not like that's more like quite direct productivity, but another thing that I find is really good is whenever I have an idea, I'll just open up like Sunsama app or like Trello, whatever you're using, like Monday or any of the tools. Just write it down, um, because you're actually using up like I've been reading a interesting book called Hyperfocus, by trying to keep like all of these thoughts in your head. Number one, like you are going to forget things. It's just inevitable that you'll forget things. But also like keeping all these things in your mind, it's almost like using up like RAM, having all these like applications open. You're just using up a lot of RAM. Whereas if like you just write everything down, so you haven't got to remember it. It's being done for you by an application, and that's the whole purpose of using these apps. And it's just going to free up your brain span. And there's like a number of like scientific words for it that but essentially, yeah, you're freeing up space in your mind so you can really focus on the task at hand, rather than trying to focus on being productive on one task and also thinking like, oh, I need to go and do the shopping later. My girlfriend told me something earlier, and like I've got this happening later. Just let the software automate it for you, so you have a like completely clear mind. Also, yeah, going into like mindfulness. Like I'm not like massive in meditation. But like I have done it before, and I really see like the benefits of it. I just haven't got a personal habit of doing it. But being like mindful of like what you're thinking of, if you have like a really cluttered mind at the moment, like maybe you're like stressed or you've got loads of things going on, just write it all down, and it's going to clear. It's just going to allow you to like forget, and you can just go through them like at a later date. Obviously, if something's like really urgent, put it in like your urgent tab, and for it to be worked on today. So yeah, they're like a just some of my like hacks in terms of day to day like productivity. If you haven't read like the 4 Hour Work Week, that's like a really good book on like how to work 4 hours per week. I don't quite do that because I actually enjoy what I do, and I like technically I could do it, but I think I would be quite like lost if I didn't have like a purpose and a business and something to wake up and do every day. And more to the point, like my biggest passion is like growing businesses, so I really like to focus on that. Hyper Focus is a really good book as well. I definitely recommend um, sort of checking it out. Also for productivity, like if there's something that you can automate, obviously I'm just massive on automation. Try and automate whatever it is you're trying to do. Essentially, automation is just another way of being productive. Um, One other thing as well is like AirPods Pro. I've literally So yeah, shout out to Apple. Like previously, I had like the like normal ones, and I just like upgraded to the Pro ones. And it's not that they have like amazing like audio quality or anything like that. The thing that I really love is they have noise cancellation, um, which again, yeah, going back to like micro distractions, just completely. I find it so much easier to get into like a productive state having the headphones in. There's like some interesting apps as well. Like generally, I just listen to music actually, but like I quite like classical music when I'm working, as funny as that sounds. But it's true. And but like even like I can actually listen to anything. It doesn't really matter. Like even like drum and bass and techno and things like that, I can listen to, and sometimes I find that's really good for like high tempo music if I can get things done really quickly, or if I'm really trying to think about something, or if I'm doing writing, like classical music, I'm happy to listen to. There's also this app, Noisio, which has a number of different like, if you're into this kind of thing, like relaxing or like supposed like productivity sounds, like a city street, blue whales. They have a campfire. They have like waterfalls, and you can just play it in the background if that's the type of thing that you like. Another little hack as well is if you're reading by playing white noise, you can actually read two times faster because again, yeah, you're blocking out like micro distractions, like anything from hearing. I don't know, like I spend a lot of time in like cafes and restaurants, like it just blocks out everything, so you can really just like focus on what you're doing. So yeah, I think that's like off the top of my head, that's everything that I can think of. Um, in terms of like blocking out micro distractions, it's also very important to like yeah, really focus on like being productive. Like what is it what are the goals that you're having for today? Being productive, there's quite a big confusion, I think. I used to have this confusion as well, that I used to feel I was productive if I felt really busy. But that's not the case at all. In fact, I now realize that's almost the opposite of productivity. It means that you're not organized, you haven't got your task in place, and you're not working, yeah, in a productive fashion. Um, so if you feel really busy, it means that there's something wrong, in my opinion. Um, so have your tasks set out for every day, and your tasks can be like, for example, yeah, to go back to that idea, if depending on what it is that you're trying to do, for example, some days I will even say to myself, you just need to have a day of like relaxing because I'm very like work obsessed and work like 7 days per week. If I set myself my tasks for today are to like relax, to not open my laptop at all and do any work, like to go to a spa, to go out walking, to just like spend time with my girlfriend or whatever it is. For me, that would be a productive day because that's what the tasks I've set myself to do that day. So it's not always just hammering yourself, like filling your day with loads of work related tasks to do. Like if your goals are like fitness, a productive day for you is going to be to go to the gym, or yeah, to eat healthy and eat clean for a whole day, or even for like an alcoholic, a productive day for an alcoholic is going to look completely different to your day. A productive day for an alcoholic would be doing anything as long as they're avoiding alcohol, whatever the wherever it may be. So yeah, just depending on like what your goals are, and obviously throughout the week, your goals should like will change around, I'm imagining. Um, so yeah, just have like even if it's not work related, I still like to like plan everything out in Sunsama. Even just like today, I've just made a trip of coming to like a hotel, and today has been like a relaxing day for me. So I'll put a video up of this hotel. It's really cool place in Georgia, and like my day has literally just been going to the gym. I did like some boxing. I went swimming, and then I just went for a nice dinner, and now I'm just making some YouTube videos. Like, I have done a bit of work, but I feel like relaxed. I feel really refreshed. I feel good. So yeah, it's important to like yeah to have the days where you do just like relax and push everything back, because then like, in fact, my girlfriend's coming tomorrow, so tomorrow's going to be another relaxing day as well. I might do a little bit of work, but it means when I do go back to work on like Sunday or Monday, I'll be flying to Amsterdam next week to meet with a client. It means that I'm going to be feeling so like refreshed and really productive. So it is also important to realize that having days off is actually a productive thing to do, and it should be seen as a productive thing to do. It's just that your goals are changing on that particular day. So I hope that that makes sense. I'll link down to like Sunsama below. Um, and yeah, I'd also like I'd be really interested to hear other people's like productivity hacks if there are certain things that you have. Like going on to like waking up early in the morning as well. I'm actually really not a morning person, but I'm just testing it out this month. I tend to find I'm most productive late at night. I'm really like a night owl. In like evening, I'm not productive at all. Like I'll if I go in the office at 12, I can work 3 till 6, and then almost like 6 till 10, I may as well not even be there. I've got no idea why, just the way my brain works. But then if I go back in the office at like 10, 11 o'clock, I can work 3 till 4 in the morning, and I will just smash through work. So I think I don't want to advise everyone to like wake up early or start later. I think that really is a it depends on you as a person. It also depends on what type of task I'm doing. Like in the morning, I'm not creative at all. So yeah, that's a really like I find it to be a real like variation. But anyway, I'm really interested to hear people's like thoughts and feedback on being like productive. I think it's something that everyone should focus on. You know, no matter what you're doing. Like I'm only like 24 years old, and people are often like quite amazed at some of the things that I do. Not like just in business. Like I've traveled like to I don't know 50 or 60 different countries. Like I've traveled around the whole of Europe. I've built a camper van before, and yeah, driven around the whole of Europe. When I was like 21, I was running businesses that were turning over like $80,000 per month. I'm 24, and the other day I made $80,000 in a day. Um, and like I could just go on. Like that's not meant to be like a boasting or bigging myself up or anything like that. It's just saying that by people are often so amazed that someone at my age is able to accomplish these things, but it's just simply trying to make my life as like productive as possible. I'm definitely not the best at doing it. There are people out there that are just like mind-blowingly organized and productive in everything that they do. But I'm probably more productive than most people are in general, just because I actively think about it. That's the only difference. It's a skill the same as everything else, something that can be learned and something that can always be improved on. So I'm just always looking to improve on productivity, and I think everyone can benefit from improved productivity in business and general life. Just means that you'll have more time in the day to do many different things. So yeah. Anyway, I Oh, there's plenty more videos coming out. Like I said, I spent a month in Colombia, and I was really just like hustling with my friend the whole time. We just had our heads down, like working. Um, but yeah, like loads more content to come. We also like hit 1,000 subscribers, which has sort of validated to me that people are genuinely interested in the type of content that I'm putting out. I don't really put out content for like for the masses to attract I mean, this is maybe a bit more like commercial content. There are a lot of people interested in productivity, but usually I'm just putting out content on like very niche marketing and growth hacking, which there's not a huge community for. But the fact that we've got like 1,000 subscribers, I'm really happy with, and I'm going to invest a lot more in putting out content. Like I've just bought like a better camera, and I'm in the process of like buying an apartment, and I'll actually make like a office, like home office slash studio for like just with like a camera, maybe like a microphone for better audio quality, and I'll absolutely do my best to just record what I'm doing during the day. And even maybe like a live stream isn't a bad idea. Um, I'll have a think about it. But anyway, there's going to be a lot more content coming out. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you like this video. I hope you learned something. Please leave comments with your like productivity hacks. I'd love to hear them. Yeah, thank you very much, and have a great day.